This is a tutorial on how to attach ruffles to your Dārta sweater. Please remember that this is essential first step we should be doing before we can proceed to working row 1 to row 6 of the ruffle pattern instructions from the book. So ruffles on this sweater is positioned in mirrored pattern. If you are knitting size 1 to size 5, you will have 3 ruffle columns on each side of the front of the sweater. If you are working size 6 to size 9, you will have additional column of ruffles on each side, so you will have 4 columns on each side of the front of the sweater. For picking up stitches, we will start picking up stitches on the right side of the sweater as worn, so technically this would be right side if we were wearing this sweater. We will start with picking up stitches from the neckband going down, and we are looking for that strand between twisted knit stitch and first purl stitch on the outer side. Let me show you how this actually looks in a pattern. This is our swatch. This is our twist knit column, which will be this one, and this is our first purl stitch here, and between we have this strand. Here, let me show you so it's more clear. Here it's pretty stretched because there was ruffle attached before, and in this way it's also easier for you to see what we are looking for. So we will be picking up from the neckband down, amount of stitches indicated in the instructions. So now I will show you how we are going to do this. We will insert our needle and pull it out right at the neckband of the sweater, which would, in this case, it would be here, the last purl stitch here. We will pull the needle out here, and we will try to hug the fabric around the needle so we can see that thread between twist knit column and the first purl stitch. This is a thread we are looking for, and this is a thread we will be picking up and knitting all the way till the end of the ruffle. So here it is. We will be slowly picking it up and knitting, picking it up and knitting until we reach the desired length of our ruffle. So here we are. We have picked the stitches up for our first ruffle, which will be this ruffle here. And this will be ruffle here facing the right side as worn. And then we will turn work and proceed with the first row from the ruffle pattern instructions from the book. Okay. And now I will show you how to pick up the stitches for the other 3 columns, which are on the left side of the sweater as worn. So this technically is the left side of the sweater if we would be wearing it. For this side we will be picking up stitches from the bottom going up, and we will be looking for that thread between twist knit stitch column and the first purl stitch facing on the right side. So all the ruffle is going to be on the right side. So this will be our twist knit stitch column, and this will be our first purl stitch. This side of the swatch is a bit tighter. That thread between purl stitch and twist knit stitch is much shorter because there were no ruffles attached. So this would be more realistic look of the fabric when you will be picking up your ruffles. So for this side we will insert needle from the top on the front of the sweater and pull it out where the ruffle on the other side ends. So we will pull the needle like so. I'm using double pointed needle. You will use your long circular needle. We will pull the needle out here. This will be the, let me see, this will be the bottom of the ruffle, and we will be picking up stitches all the way until we reach the neckline here. Again, we can see this is our twist knit column, this is our first purl stitch, and this is that little short thread in between. As you can see, it's much shorter, more realistically how it will look on your sample too. And we are doing exactly the same. We will be picking up and knitting stitches all the way. Slow and steady, hug it around the needle so you can see where is this thread in between these stitches. Otherwise it's really easy to pick up the first purl stitch instead of the thread in between. Slow and steady until we reach the neckband, and then just like on the other side we will proceed working on row 1 to row 6 for the actual ruffle pattern. And as we know, row 1 is going to be our wrong side of the ruffle. We will start working from the wrong side. Okay, and this is how it looks. I will show you a couple of stitches here. And this is our picked up stitches for the ruffle. On this side, which will be ruffle gonna be facing this side, just like these three. So this is a look of our finished ruffles. Our twist knit column is here, our first purl stitch is here, and this is that strand in between where our ruffle has been attached. On this sample, the strand is a bit more stretched. Do not worry, your sample will not look like this. I stretched it on purpose for you to show what we've been working on. Once you finish your ruffles, this is how your ruffles actually will look like, with no stretch in between the twist knit stitch and the first purl stitch. And this is also going to be the other side of the ruffle. If you can see here that little trail where we picked up stitches. And this is how it's going to look on the other side. This is the stretched one, so you don't worry about this one. And this is how your actual sample will look on the wrong side.